Now we're going to do I'm going to draw myself a shower base just off to the side of the screen here. Now the objective here is to just learn how to use some of the drafting skills and tools within Revit. From the Annotate tab up the top here, what we're going to be doing is a detail line. So select the detail line button, and this is just a plain old line. Anything in this view drawn with detail lines is not visible in other views. It's not a 3D object. It's just purely just a line on a page. Generally, we will use these bottom three: wide lines, thin lines, medium lines, although there are other options and different dashed pens and things like that which we can use. It's kind of like a pencil case, I suppose. You're selecting which line and which thickness you'd like it to draw. We're going to start with the medium line, and you'll see here we have all these options for doing rectangles. We've got circles and all sorts of different options and different ways of doing arcs. We can experiment with these and play around as we go. But for now, using that first one, which is just a straight line command, I'm going to pick on screen, and as I bring my cursor across, as long as I bring it up straight, Revit's kind of like it's magnetic. It'll jump onto being straight for you. It'll kind of predict that that's what you want to do. And I'm just going to randomly draw a line around about 2 meters long and pick modify to finalize that line. To set the line as a length, I'm actually going to draw a 900 square shower base. So I'll select that line and I'll change its length from 2000 to 900. So I've now got one line 900 millimeters long. Start the detail line command again using medium lines. We're going to pick onto that end. Let's do that again. Using medium lines again, if you bring your cursor down towards the end, you'll see that Revit knows that we're looking to draw right on the end of there. You'll see that there's a little sort of purpley coloured box that pops up, and it's a little on-screen note that pops up too to let us know that we are actually drawing from the end point of that line. We can then come down 900 for the next one, or you can go as far as you like, and by taking your hand off your mouse and typing in 900, actually telling Revit how far we want to go. So we now can bring in the next side of our box across. Again, Revit's dropping a line down. It's seeing what the other line is up the top there, and it's saying, maybe you want to go there. So there's a lot of predictability that it's doing for us, and we can use those tools. So by picking there, we've set that next 900, and then we can go back to here at the start again, and you'll see the end point is popping up again as a it's called a snap. So that line is snapping onto that next line. Select modify to cancel, and you can see there we've got a complete 900 square box. Did a few different methods in drawing that, and I'm just going to pop some dimensions on. So from that Annotate tab, align dimension, place one there, pick on that side through to that side and pick there. It's important to remember when you're doing dimensioning, we're dimensioning between two lines. So keep clear of the corner. If you're coming into the corner, that's where there's two lines meeting, so you're better off just staying right back, right into the middle, and placing the dimension. So there's our 900 by 900 square shower base. So the next command we're going to have a look at is offset. So from our menus across the top, we'll select the modify tab, and here is the offset button. I guess we should watch these a little more often, shouldn't we? little tutorial videos that pop up when you're selecting some of these commands. So I'll select the offset button, and I'm going to set the offset, which is the distance you type in here, is 50, because we're going to offset a line 50 millimeters in, all the way around this shower base. See the little green hidden line that's popping up? It's telling me which side it's going to place a line. So you can see as you favour one side of the line or the other that it's popping in. So I'll come down to that line and I'm offsetting, so it's drawing another line 50 millimeters in from my original line. So back to modify to cancel, and you can see the running on, how that it's not quite square, and what we need to do is just tidy it up a little bit. Again, from that modify tab, I can use this one, which is our trim extend to corner, which you see the little video that's running there, how we can pick on two different lines and it brings them together to a nice neat corner. So we'll select the trim, and I'll select on this line and this line, and it just neatens up that corner for us. I'll do that to all four corners. So I've got two boxes, and the outside box is the outside of our shower base, which is 900 by 900, and the inner one is exactly 50 millimeters all the way around, nice and even. So next thing we need to do is I need to draw a circle right in the middle of this, just a 50 millimeter diameter circle representing the drain hole in the middle of the shower base. So to find the centre, there's a few different ways we can do it. We can draw cross lines and all sorts of things. I do a detail line from the annotate tab. In the medium again is fine, and this time I'm going to draw from the midpoint. I just want to show you how that midpoint snap works. If you're going to draw a line, you can snap to an end point, and you can also snap to a midpoint. It's exactly the middle of that line there, which if I bring a line towards the centre there, I know the distance to the middle of this shower base is going to be 450, being half of the 900. I can then type that in and press enter, and then hit modify to cancel the command. So I've got a line that's from the middle of this line drawn straight out to the middle, and I will do a detail line. I'll do this in a thin line, and we shall draw a circle, and the circle, as you can see by where the temporary dimension is, it's wanting to it's giving us a dimension for the radius. So I'll give it a 25 as a radius, which will give us a 50 millimeter diameter circle. Select onto the that temporary line that we drew, just so we could locate our place, and we shall delete it. Another thing I've noticed here also is that we've got a button right up the top here, which is our thin lines, and if I pick on that, you'll see the lines have all gone thick, and these 50 millimeter offset lines, I might change those to thin just by picking on them, changing them to thin lines. So I did that just one at a time, as all good CAD software will do. It'll let you do those things in multiple steps, but we'll get to that later. Next thing we need is just to draw in some guidelines representing the drain of the shower, so that you can sort of see that it stands out as to exactly what this represents once it's on your plan. So back to the detail line again, in thin lines, and I'm going to start a line right on the edge of that 50 millimeter offset, pick there, and I'm going to come down this directly towards the centre there. I want to go 500 at 45 degrees. So we can see the 45 degrees. We can see there that it's 400, so if I type in 500 and press enter, there's a 500 millimeter long line from that edge at 45 degrees. I do that to all four corners, so snap to that end point. I'll bring it up. You can see there that Revit wants to jump onto a 45 degree angle. It'll do that for you. You just have to guide it to where you need it roughly, and it'll snap onto what we want. Type in 500, press enter, finish. Come in 500, detail line, thin line, 500, and modify. Okay, so that's our shower base. I'm going to delete these dimension lines, and what we're going to do is convert this, because we've drawn this, just added some detail lines. They're not associated with each other. It's not a modelled object. It's got no 3D. It hasn't got any depth or surface or anything. So what I need to do is to be able to put them all, group all these together. So if I move one line, it moves everything all together. So select the whole lot of all those lines, and right up the top here, and in the create panel, we can do create group, and we'll just call it a 900 by 900 shower base, and okay, and you can see there that it's got a little blue rectangle around it. It's got the XY axis for the insertion point there, and if I pick and move and drag, it moves it all as one object. Now I'm going to move this shower into the corner of this room. So I'm going to pick on that shower base. I'm going to move, and I'm going to use my end point snap to pick on that point right there. Then I'm going to zoom in onto the corner of the wall and I'm going to pick onto that same place. So we're moving it from one point to another point and locating it exactly onto the corner of that wall. We can then add some text, 2mm high text for notes. And we're underway. Okay, so now we've got the bathroom drawn up, existing bathroom. We can go ahead to the sheet and have a look. So over here under the list of sheets, double pick on the A101 plan, and your bathroom should be appearing on a title block sheet ready for you to print it out. So pop your name in there first. We should be ready to go. So printing. What we'll be doing a lot of this year is printing everything out into PDF format. Doesn't come off your print credit at the TAFE, and it's a good easy way to be able to email files backwards and forwards that anybody can have a look at, because a Revit file is a bit of a specific file type. So from the print menu, select the Adobe PDF as the print printer, and we're going to set up. What we need to do is to set up so that we're using A3 sheets, as that's the size of that page was drawn in Revit, so we're using an A3. We're going to be doing just the center of the page, and we're going to use zoom. Just one thing I'll note here is when I select zoom to be 100%, that the center will automatically default down to the offset. So just watch. So as I picked on zoom for 100%, we need to set center back up again. So they're the three settings to look at. Is that you are using an A3 sheet, we have paper placement of center, and we have zoom of 100%. So from the current window, do a preview and we'll just have a look. So what we're looking for here is that the outside of that A3 page is right out to the edge. Select print, it'll bring that dialog box back up again, and we should be ready to go. So pick OK, save that file to your USB stick or to your preferred location, wherever you like to keep it. And we've then got the PDF file has popped up automatically, and that's a non-editable, easy to email PDF document, and most importantly it is actually printed out to scale. So if I print that on an A3 sheet, it's going to be pretty close to being a scaled document. So that PDF file can now be uploaded. There's the PDF document. That's the one that can be uploaded into the provided space in My Learning. Once that's uploaded into there, that just tags me via email, lets me know that you've completed the task and uploaded, and I'll check it off. Thank you.